What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by, your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Sunday. That means it's time for a little bit of shenanigans. And I don't mean the ones by Mother Nature with all the stupid rain we're getting. And I don't mean the ones by all the Pennsylvania lids that don't know what they're doing running a QSO party, but it is shenanigan time. And before we get started, we're going to thank these guys right here. They are the Patreons. They are the core of the Papa Zulu November crew. I'm going to tell you, man, these guys, they're some amazing people, and they do a lot for me, and I try to do a lot for them as well. But they help me out very much. And then right after them, we're going to talk about these guys here. And this is the YouTube channel members. I don't give them enough credit because they're just now starting to grow. And we're going to help this POTA Activator and POTA Rover grow. If you get in the POTA Activator or the POTA Rover crew, you do become eligible for Discord spots, just like the Patreons get. So when you spot on POTA, it'll be automatically on Discord as well. So
or soda.
Or soda, correct. That is correct. I always forget the soda thing. And then we're going to move to these guys. There is no change since Wednesday on this, but the Adventure Club is awesome as well. We're getting ready to do, hopefully next week, as long as it gets confirmed, what I'm getting is going to be ready in time. We're going to be doing the giveaway for last quarter, so I look forward to giving away something as well for these guys. So anyway, what's going on, Dan?
Man, I've felt like shiitake mushrooms all weekend. So
shiitake mushrooms.
It's been a lazy weekend. Got the feeling better though, so I'm starting to get up and around today, and I didn't do much all weekend, to be honest with you.
Well, I'll tell you what, I went to, I think it was Friday. I don't know, one night I went and ate some Mexican. And I don't know if I overate or if there was something in it that was bad or what, but man, I got almost home and I started feeling the saliva building up in my mouth, and you know what that means.
Yes, sir.
I'm like, oh gosh, please let me get to a good pull off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know what you're talking about, but
it's worse when you got a bad case of it too, and you can't decide which way to face the toilet.
No, I'll tell you what, you're wearing a good looking hat tonight, man.
Yeah, you like that. Yeah, this is my Shenanigans hat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good looking hat.
I should put a little an A-Trag sticker right here or something.
Yeah.
I don't have any Icom hats.
Well,
I think Icom's too stingy with their hats.
And if you would like me to get you a roll of toilet paper to wrap around your head,
get Icom hat.
Just playing, guys. Just playing. There's nothing wrong with Icoms. I pick on a lot of things.
This is a coveted hat. This one was basically stolen. Well, not stolen. I had to figure out how to get one. Charlie Golf Charlie told me the secret about how to go up to the Yazoo booth and get this hat up in Huntsville. So they weren't giving them out just willy-nilly. You had to know the secret handshake.
It's funny, too, because me and Dan's actually wearing the same hat, and his looks so much better than mine.
Mine's blue. Yours is black, right?
Because I'm wearing a blue hat. So I don't. It's probably my green screen. I'm guessing the settings on it, because it tends to green and blue. Mine tends to.
What all colors do they got? All right, so they got the blue one. They got a red one, I think.
Yeah, I've got a red and black one.
Yeah, I don't have the red and black one, so maybe they'll have those in Orlando, and I'll pick one up. So, I want to get all the colors.
Anyway, so yeah, basically this weekend's been kind of a washout for me. Yesterday this was the plan yesterday. I was super excited, been excited for weeks. I was going to get to go do my very first fox hunt. I've wanted to do a fox hunt forever, and nobody ever does any fox hunts anywhere near me. Or if they do, it's like on the weekend I'm going to a big ham fest or something. But finally it comes, and they're going to do one, and I had done had plans. The fox hunt was going to be in St. Albans City Park, and there's a disc golf course there. So I was going to do the fox hunt, throw around a disc golf, and then go activate. So get there, got all the gear in the car for disc golf, radio, got the world in the car, and ready to do this stuff. And about 20 minutes before the fox hunt, the bottom drops out. I mean, it drops out bigger than crap. And there was about 6 of us waiting under a shelter for the people who organized this thing to get on the repeater and say it was canceled or something. And we didn't hear nothing. We never did. About 40 minutes after it was supposed to start, we just decided that it wasn't happening. We all just sort of left after that point. But weird stuff. So no disc golf, no fox hunt, and I did do POTA, of course, but I did wait till much later and after the rain.
There you go. You got an invitation to do a fox hunt and a rove.
In the spring.
Yeah. Which is good because you don't want to go up there in the winter.
Yeah.
You're going to be hunting more than foxes.
Yeah. He asked me, he said, well, when are you coming to Canada? And I said, when it's warm.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, so you're never coming to Canada.
Oh, shots fired. Shots fired. Everybody duck.
So anyway, here's the thing. Since he's going to shoot some shots, we're going to go ahead and take care of this really quick.
Uh-oh.
So, yes, James has a roving plaque. He lives in the land of the magic horse that poops parks every 5 feet that he can activate. And he has a roving plaque because he did 56, I think. He'll correct me if I'm wrong. In 2 days. 56 in 2 days. That's pretty astounding. It's pretty astounding.
68, he says.
Oh, 68. Okay. 68 in 2 days. And that's pretty astounding. It's a 2-day period. So I told him, I was like, that doesn't make you the roving champion because I hold the most in 1 day, which is 42. And he's like, no. It count. We're going to count it in 2 days. I was like, so if we're going to count in 2 days, we should just count all road for a year. So all my road for a year and all your road for a year. You're like, no. That don't work either. So James is the champion of the rove that he wants to call the rove. But there is no rule to that rove.
I think you just got him. He said, all right, 50's coming up.
All right, 50's coming up. You do 50 and I'll do 50. You do 50 and I'll do 51.
I mean, you had time left after your 42 Parker too.
Oh,
You're kind of sitting there twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah, I could have definitely done more. I just didn't lay it out for more. But nah, he's definitely got the advantage.
You should just both of y'all lay out like 100 parks, and then just go until you don't have any more time. That way, you won't be stuck in a position where, well, I got time, I don't have any more laid out.
Well, that's the difference in me and him. 100 parks for me covers a 4-state span.
Yeah.
And 100 parks for him is like 4 blocks around the city.
about a quarter mile.
So, James, I'm going to need you to send me to Tokyo, and we'll compete 100 park row for 100 park rove. Who can do it the fastest?
You can do a 50 on foot. That is crazy.
I think Tokyo went to Canada, took the magic horse and the magic unicorn and mated them, and took its offspring back over to Tokyo and just said, poop everywhere.
I think you can walk anywhere you want to in that city and be in a park. Without stepping outside of a park. You just go park to park every step. It's crazy.
You can't sway when you're doing your QSOs because you're actually leaving park boundaries.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh Good stuff. Good stuff.
So yeah, how about how about the QSO party this weekend? Wasn't it just fabulous on the bands, all the QRM?
It was just absolutely fabulous. You go your best to find a spot that is somewhat clear. You just hear a little bit of QRM, which was typically on 0.5s, this weekend, which I hate going to start with. But, you have somebody down here and you go up maybe 2 from them and they're still real bad, and you go up 2.5 from them and you could hear, and you try to go up 3, and then you hear the station above you. So you go back to that 2.5. And then you start calling there, and you get about 5 or 6 QSOs in, and then somebody moves in right on top of you anyway.
Hey, there you go.
I'll tell you what, at one point during today on my frequency that I started on and had it first, at one point there was my POTA activation, a net, and a Pennsylvania QSO party going on at the same time. I kid you not. I was like, my goodness, this is just absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
Because I started hearing them all in there, and I'm like, oh my goodness. But I managed to activate, and I did fairly well on that frequency actually. But
let me give you DX hunters a tip. I'm gonna get on my rant here for a minute.
Hey, Dan's gonna have the Molson Rover of the day. Here we go. I'm gonna kick it back.
Multiple times today. It happened to multiple activators. This is not a one-time occurrence by this person who will somewhat remain unnamed. But if you're a DX guy over across the pond and you're trying to reach an activator over here, just give your damn call sign. There's no reason for you to be shouting DX France, DX France, DX France over and over again while the activator's talking, while other hunters are talking to the activator. It's annoying, to say the least. It's almost like he had it on repeat. It was so crazy. So don't be that guy in France. It was a Fox 5, and I'm not going to say anything else. Don't be that guy.
Oh.
So annoying.
Kilo 9758. The Crown's banner was planted first. Oh, yeah. We all know what that means. David, first thanks for the super chat. David has planted the King's flag in Kilo 9758 and is now that park leader. So he is took over a park in the name of the King. Thank you very much. Your kingdom appreciates you, David.
Would that be le lid in French? Yes, the lid. Le lid. It was, man, if you would have heard it, I actually told one of the activators, I said, get that DX France out of your pile up before I reach through the microphone and strangle him. You're 5'9" Golf Alpha. It was stupid.
You want me to tell you what's funny?
I can probably think of a lot of things, but go ahead.
And we're hopefully PP Man's not in chat and hears this, but it was easier for me to do a 4.5 watt, and I say 4.5 watt because that's what my radio puts out. It doesn't put out 5 like it's supposed to, and that's just in the Tolroyd wrapping because it was a kit. But it was easier for me to do a 4.5 soda today than deal with the QRM from the PAQ, so running 83 watts.
For sure. It was horrible. They gave my filters a workout, that's for sure.
But it's another reason for you guys to learn CW, because I'll tell you what, I didn't have no problem anywhere I went on CW today. And there are days that it gets full. Normally, like on Friday nights, for some reason, they do something on there, and it's hard to find the frequency on 40 meters. But
all right. So here's part of my rant there, Eric, and I can understand that. If he was a blind caller, I could probably just sit here and bitch that he's blind calling. But the activator said, DX France station, go ahead. And he came right back. He heard him fine. He was just intentionally being an idiot and saying it over and over and over and over and over again. He wasn't blind calling. He was just trying to bust his pile up, being annoying.
We call that Terry calling. We don't call that blind calling.
Terry calling. There you
go. Poor Terry. Listen, if you ever want to know why Terry does that, though, go over to his house and listen to his noise level. You know,
I saw the grow lights.
Like, I honestly thought that, I had a high noise level at my house, and that's, one of the reasons. Well, it's not the only reason, but it's one of the reasons why I prefer to activate over hunt. The other reason is I can't stand to be home and I like to be outdoors, but that's beside the point. But Terry's noise level, and it's not on every single frequency, it's on certain frequencies, and which is typically the ones he says that I spot on. But they're just absolutely horrible noise for him, and I feel so bad for him. It's just it's a mess for him, and he's a really good hunter for what he's dealing with, because Terry gets through. It might take him 22 times, but he gets through to you.
I'm really blessed around here with a relatively low. I mean, it's not like S0 or anything, but I mean it's relatively low. So. I can hear you when you're running, 4.5 watts on top of a Summit in the middle of the day on 40
at 12 o'clock noon.
Yeah. Let's get on 40.
I jumped on 40 meters running 4.5 watts and had absolutely zero hard time activating. It was a piece of cake.
You were in and out there pretty quick too.
Yeah, I think I looked at it and it was something like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
That I between the time that I spotted and the time that my spot said QRT.
All right, so let me guess here. 6 minutes. You were running CW. Did you get let's say, did you get 9 contacts? 10?
I got 11.
Yeah.
11 contacts. So,
not bad.
So, yeah. But here's the funny thing. It's my kingdom. It's my kingdom, though. I spotted on the soda page first, and then I spotted on Discord second, which is backward from what I normally would do. But I just went ahead and did it that way. And I think 9 of the calls was my Discord, and 2 of them was from the soda site.
Yeah.
So, and here's the thing. When I spotted on Discord, which, you know what, I didn't have to spot on Discord because it spots me on there. I forgot about that.
It's audio magic.
See there, I wasted a spot.
Audio magic.
That's why none of y'all asked me what summit I was on. Because I went back when I went QRT and put it in the page.
Oh, it's so easy too. I love it when people spot themselves, because I can go to Soda Watch and basically just log their spot directly from there.
That is the way to log soda.
Oh yeah,
that is the way to log soda. Because if I'm home, I leave Soda Watch up in the shack, and every time I walk through the house or something like that, I will look. Because believe it or not, I'm a loyal soda hunter. I do not get a lot of them because I'm never home, but I am a loyal soda hunter, and I'll come in through and I'll see where they're at, and if it's something that my home station can do, which it can't do much, I'm looking at home. I'm looking at 20, 40, and 30, and that's about it at home.
Sounds like you need an Eagle 1.
Well, I've got one in my truck. If I want to throw my antenna up at my house, I could. But,
you need one modem.
Well, I've got that big antenna holder that sits out there in the driveway. I could just run it. I could just run it straight up off of that thing. That white Nissan antenna holder that I purchased. I could just run it off there and make it a permanent home mount, couldn't I?
Yeah, there you go. You don't have to worry about radials or anything.
I can see it now. They're like, you got a new car. Why do you just have that one sitting there? Oh, it's my antenna holder.
That's right. That's right. The ground plane is better because it's already rusted in.
Oh.
I can see it when you get a new vehicle. You're gonna hook up the Eagle One. It's not gonna act quite the same. You're like, damn, I can't wait for like 10 more years for this thing to rust in.
I'm like, please God, let it maybe be a snowy winter. I can't wait to get that West Virginia salt to make that West Virginia rust.
Right.
Oh, funny stuff. You know, speaking of James, which we were talking about earlier, how come he was the only one of the three amigos that didn't hunt me today? What's up with that?
Mm.
All the other amigos are hunting me, and he's just not doing it. Oh. See, I got lucky because evidently PP Man was not in the chat because he didn't say nothing either.
Oh, he'll watch it on team replay.
Oh yeah, he'll watch it and try to say something like that. Listen, if you didn't say it live, it doesn't count.
Oh, hey, Eddie, Kilo Oscar 4 November Lima Lima. Are you in the chat?
Yeah,
regardless, I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a shout out. He's been spotting CW on POTA recently. You know, QRS don't pile him up. He's really new, but it's awesome. He's doing a great job. So, shout out to the brisket man.
Listen, shout out to anybody who is starting out in CW and spots on POTA, because you can say QRS as many times as you want to, but those vids don't do it. You know, of course, the Discord will slow down for you unless you're getting like Terry, because he don't know what QRS is.
Yep, there he is. All right, so if you do CW and you see Kilo Oscar 4 November Lima Lima spotted, go work him.
Yep, and he actually earned his eagle in Big Ugly last night on a CW contact.
That's right.
Which made me come out of my rhythm and put congrats at the end of his QSO. Yeah, I know. We all know I don't like to do that stuff.
Woof.
Sometimes Wolf gets all mangled up. Listen, if you people think activating is hard, try activating with my mind.
Let me tell you what's funny. I know when your hands are cold, because you'll send a wolf, you'll send a dit, and then you'll send 8 dots all together. It's like da 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 da. Like there's your W and your O and your O.
Everybody knows that 8 dots is 2 O's, Diane. Come on.
No,
I do
da for the W, and then you send the 6 together. Yeah, it's funny.
It's CW shorthand for wolf. If you guys don't know CW shorthand, there's something wrong with you. How are you even doing CW?
That's right. Wolf means you're 5'9", Golf Alpha. Thanks, 73.
You know, nobody ever even sends me a message or anything, because I get messages about everything. Nobody even says, why do you guys say wolf on CW? And it's funny because when PP Man hunts me, he says wolf in SSB.
Yeah.
He'll throw out his call sign half the time, Kilo Echo 8, Puppy Tango X-Ray, woof. He don't say puppy. I call him puppy. But
hey, Lou, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, funny stuff. So since PP Man will probably watch this on replay, I'll go ahead and tell you. PP Man is the master pinhole app operator. Just so you guys know, he is the master pinhole operator. Are you curious why I'm calling him the master pinhole operator?
Very.
Because he's like a pinhole. You know he's there, but you can't never find him.
It's like I knew. Did I hear something out there ending in an X-ray? Again.
But one channel you can stay tuned for QRP dad jokes.
Oh, another thing I can rant about. I heard somebody today that was running QRP called the activator, said this is just like normal QRP people. He's in the pileup saying whiskey one ABC, whatever his call sign is, QRP, because they got to say it like 8 times so they're QRP. So the activator calls him back, and this guy running QRP seemed to get annoyed at the activator because the activator asked him to repeat his call sign 3 times slowly because he was having trouble copying. If you're going to run QRP, don't get mad if somebody asks you to repeat something. I'm just saying.
If you're going to hunt in general, don't get mad for somebody to ask you to repeat something.
Especially if you're QRP. But the guy seemed to get an attitude like, oh, I'll repeat my call sign.
Because I'll tell you, some of y'all's equipment don't work the way it's supposed to. You come through choppy. You'll get Whiskey Delta Alpha November. Whiskey Delta Alpha November. Again, Whiskey Delta Alpha November. And then finally it comes through. And you might have a 5-9 signal, but you're running choppy crap, Yeah. And it happens. That's like today I had a guy that done that, and he actually asked me, he said, is my audio choppy? And I said, yes, it is. Because he was more like Whiskey 4 Delta Alpha November, Whiskey 4 Delta Alpha November. And I just couldn't get that one letter.
You will be surprised at the number of people that I followed that give an activator a 5-9 when they have like bad RF or something in their audio. They say, oh, you're 5-9. And then I follow up behind them and say, I don't know why that last guy gave you a 5-9. I'm going to give you a 2-9, but let me explain it. And then they correct the damn problem. They move some equipment around or whatnot. It's like, I don't know why that Yahoo before you gave you a 5-9 because you damn sure ain't.
You know what I love? When somebody hunts you and you call them back. All right, you called me. I'm like, Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November. Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November 5-9. Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November. Oh, you're 5-9, James.
Yeah, right.
Am I really? Why didn't you hear me the first 2 times?
Like, I can tell if you've called me the second time because your tone kind of changes.
I do.
And then I'll hear that. And then what I'll say is, you're 5-9 in the clear. So, I didn't hear you the first time because there was some other butthole talking over the top of you.
It's funny because each time I have to call your call sign, I get more snappy.
Yeah.
And that last time, especially if I say, all right, last time, Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November 5-9.
That's right. Chris said it's because your pilots last too long. He has a point. He does have a point.
I try to wait till the end of the pileup before I call a station because I know they won't even slow down and listen to me. But sometimes it's just too hard because you hear just one good station and then you hear 82 stations are.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Let me highlight this one. This goes to something that I posted on Facebook about, I don't know, 6-7 months ago that got removed by some people on, I don't know who removed it. A moderator on Facebook removed it because they didn't want me to tell people how to operate. Which I wasn't telling anybody how to operate. I'm just saying this is the best thing you can do. If an activator asks you for your suffix, just give them your suffix. If he asks you for just the prefix, just give him the prefix. Don't repeat what the activator already has correct because he might hear it wrong the second time. And now you got to go all the way back over from the beginning and say your whole call sign again.
I had one guy one day and I was like, I just need the number. And we went through that 4 times of him giving his full call sign. And every time it would cut out just on the number.
Yeah.
And finally I was like, just say your number like 6 times.
Yeah. So don't repeat. All right. So if an activator has part of your call sign correct, don't repeat that part. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing because he could hear it differently the second time. And then you got to start all the way back over from scratch.
But he had to go and bring up the Facebook stuff. I seen on there today where there was another storm about people saying, so last night there was this guy and he was activating. He's saying all three activators. Do I have to talk? Do I have to talk to all three activators to get the QSO with them or not? Guys, leave the activators alone. Here's the thing. When I go out and do dual ops, I typically will pass the mic. But if I'm doing a dual op right at late shift or a triple op right at late shift, this is how it's going to go. You're going to get your 5-9 all three from all three, unless you're a park to park, and then you'll talk to all three of them. And about every sixth or seventh QSO, I'll be all right. Hold for the second and third, and pass it around and let them take their time.
And it's so easy. If you don't like that, don't call in. Yeah. Don't get in the law. Then you don't have to worry about it because you're not even involved.
Yep. And if you want to call and say, all right, I only want the one activator I talk to log me, I'm sure they'll oblige. You don't want to take the few, so it's fine. But here's the thing: when you run 100 calls in like about 15 to 20 minutes, sometimes you can't do that passing the mic 3 times on a late shift. And if I pass the mic 3 times, there we go. If I pass the mic 3 times, out of those 100 people, 30 of them's going to leave. I can guarantee you that.
All right, QRT.
So,
yeah, I mean, you can't, dude. I mean, it's. I mean, unless you're just going to go out there and make 10 contacts.
If you actually look in the rules of POTA, it says the activator may choose to pass the microphone. May choose to pass the microphone. That is in the rules.
Yep.
Read them before you start a storm on Facebook. I used to love going to that page, and I try not to ever go to it. And every now and then, I'll get a notification pop up, and I'm like, sure, let's look. Let's get me something to fuss about tonight.
Let's indulge my morbid curiosity today. What is this on the Facebook?
I bet you there's also a Facebook group that's called the PZN Hater Club.
I know there's an uncensored POTA group that Eric got banned from. Or censored in. That is some fun. The only person that I know of to get censored in an uncensored group. Now that takes some balls.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That is awesome.
So here's the thing: when you are responsible for 87.5%, that's my number, and I'm sticking to it, of Hawaii's POTA contacts ever.
You're allowed to lay your huevos on the table.
You can be a little bit opinionated if you want to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because you've done your good.
I'll single-handedly make it so nobody gets to work those days. That was funny though. It does. It does. You gotta remember, man, he lives over there on a volcano. So I mean, I wouldn't mess with the guy. That's pretty hardcore.
Can we activate from inside the volcano?
As long as it's within the boundaries of the park and it's on public land.
So Eric, that's what it's like to activate in West Virginia. You go down in the volcano, and that's how your takeoff angle is going to be. That's why we don't do 20 meters very much, even though everybody loves when I do 20 meters because I go to the top of the hill and I go good. But
oh, Eric. Oh, jeez. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I mean, yeah, if you're going to run a POTA page on Facebook, then you should probably have a POTA account and do POTA. I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, you got to at least do POTA and then don't do it for like 2 years or something, and then post on there. Then you can be a mapping coordinator.
Speaking of that, very soon you should get some parks back. What they say by December 1st, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, by December 1st.
Yeah, man.
You know,
A super sticker from the upside down guy.
Here's the thing. You know, it's funny because they say by December 1st, and it's funny because random parks are slowly being added places, and yet they still are yet to put back the parks that were already put in the system, and all they got to do is turn them back on. No work required, just turn them back on. Thank you very much, Terry.
XO, which one did we get in Georgia? I have not been paying attention, buddy. Apparently, we got a new park. We got a new park. West Virginia don't.
Listen, Kentucky got a new one because I noticed it when I was doing my
the Oconee River. Cool.
My update last time, to see how many I had left for Kentucky, and I was like, okay, so I go to the list, and all I see is a bunch of wildlife management areas, because that's pretty much what I've got left. A few historic sites, wildlife management areas. I may have one state park left.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't see that. And I had to search and search and search forever. And then finally, I said, right up on the close to the boundaries of Ohio, I see a little black dot on my map. And I was like, oh, and I go look, and sure enough, that's it. So it's a wildlife management area, supposedly with no parking lot. So
I doubt they'll do that, James, because those are not managed by public entities. I don't think.
Well, I'm gonna disagree with Dan on that because thank you very much for the super chat first, but R.D. Bailey is done by the Corps of Engineers.
Yeah. I'm saying not all of them are.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like an all or nothing kind of thing, because then you're gonna have to go into really deep down research of all the Corps engineers parks and figure out which ones aren't managed by public entities, which ones are. You can only add the ones that are. It'd be a nightmare.
Okay, you're saying someone's managed by like the states and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because if they're like a private, entity, they can't be added, right? Yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. I mean, more parks are good. I mean, I'm not against it for sure. Make K dash 5,006,215.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't want the city parks and the county parks. I'm not asking for all that to be added. I have no desire for all that madness to happen. But if there's a state park and it's not added to the system, I don't care if freeze or not. All state parks are supposed to be in the system. If like 90% of your state's wildlife management areas are in there, and then you're not adding the other 10%, why?
Yeah.
It's just, if you're gonna add some for some people, you gotta add them for everybody. I mean, look, Pennsylvania, 90% of their parks is wildlife management areas.
Yeah.
I don't think they call them wildlife management areas.
Game lands.
Game lands. Yeah.
Game lands. They got PA State game lands 6,914.
Yeah. I think North Carolina has game lands too, whereas West Virginia has wildlife management areas.
They got a lot of them. I want to say 250, 300, something like that. No, he just said 300. Yeah. Or something like that. Yeah. I mean, there's a slew of them. You should get a certificate on POTA when you work all the game lands, for Christ's sake. Mm-hmm. There should be a game land POTA certificate. Because some of them are rarely activated.
Yeah, I'm still. By the way, if once again, I'm going to put this out on every live stream. If there's somebody in the Louisville area that has a little boat with a little trolling motor or a little motor on it that can help me get to 6 Mile Island, please send me a message. I will pay. I will pay for a ride to 6 Mile Island and back.
How far away is 6 Mile Island?
It's a mile and a half upstream from the dock.
Why do they call it 6 Mile Island? Is that how long it is? Or?
I don't know.
Oh, I was curious.
But it's a mile and a half upstream from the dock. So if you can help me get to 6 Mile Island, and it has to be sometime very soon. It has to, well, it definitely has to be this year, but I'd rather do it, sometime really soon because it's going to start getting cold.
Yeah, look at Kilo 3 Sierra Delta Mike. I've been working him a lot. Name's Scott. Great activator too. Really great activator. Y'all would make a really good pair, I think.
He hunts me park to park quite a bit.
Yeah. Jot that down and see if he can point you in the right direction.
Let's look and see if he's activated it.
Because I've been working him a lot lately. He's a fantastic operator. Yeah, all right. Let's see what all I missed in the chat here. Hawaii 7 fur. Yeah, that'd be something, wouldn't
it? I could care less if they add any furs.
I'll get rid of them.
I wish they would. I wish they would totally do away with furs. Like, totally just all furs are gone. That would be so awesome. All right, let's see here.
Yeah, James to the north. He said 5, 6, or 7 attempts, and if you don't get the call sign after that, you just say no contact. That's kind of more than what I do. I listen like maybe 3 or 4 times, and then I'm not wasting any more time on it. Okay, go 4FSZ. What's going on, buddy? I hung one of your end feds in my backyard earlier. Had to get up and move around a little bit. Been feeling like crap all weekend, so I thought, hey,
okay. No, he is not the guy that has activated. It is actually Kilo 9 Uniform Victor India.
Yeah,
is the only activation of that island. That is Kevin Urich.
I wonder, did he do it on sideband or what?
Oh, this is even better. This is even better.
If you tell me it was on FT8.
It is this no, it's on phone, but it's his only activation. One activation, one park for 32 QSOs.
Oh my God.
He's the only person to ever activate that park.
And when was that done?
That was done 6/16 of 21.
So all this time, that's the only activation he's ever done. Yeah.
and the only activation of that park. So
yeah,
if you're a POTA activator and you want to take me out there, we can crush some QSOs out there because I guarantee you we'll get a pile up.
Oh yeah.
And if you got a steady enough boat, we'll take 100-watt radio out there. If you got a janky boat, we're taking a QRP radio.
Yes, sir. Hey, you can do your kilo in a day out there. You have enough callers.
No, I don't want to be there that long. It
should take you no longer than 2 hours
to get a kilo. Okay. You ain't right.
Well, I mean, that's 1,000.
I mean, listen, if you got friends out there to have boats, they ain't got to be an activator. They just want to make some cash.
Hold on, I'm doing math on the stream here. If you do about 8 contacts a minute, you can do it 2 hours.
I can do 8 contacts a minute for up to about 30 some minutes.
I couldn't do it 30 minutes. I do it like maybe 10 minutes. My brain would fry.
And then my brain really starts messing up. So.
You don't have to pass the mic per band, do you? Yeah, you're 5'9", all 13 bands. I love it. I love it.
Hold on, I got to do a CW contact, y'all.
Yeah. Hold on, stand by for the second band.
You're 5'9", all 13 bands, all modes.
That is great.
QRT. Whiskey Delta 4, you're the top hunter at this park.
I'm going to do that next time I activate just to mess with something. All right, you're 5'9", all 13 bands, QRZ. Oh, that is great.
Oh, funny stuff.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, hopefully they'll reinstate those parks here soon. I got a feeling, though, just because of the how can I put this? Just because it might be right on December 1st when you get those back.
You know, I think I'm going to send an email to the main mapping guy tonight when I get home for my activation and say, hey, I've noticed a few parks are popping up. Can I please get my 5 back that has already been put in the system? You know, your peeing contest is over. Please reinstate my contest.
That's funny. Larry says it looks like there's a marina near there, and you might be able to rent a boat. It's an option.
I looked up, you know, boat rentals and stuff like that, and didn't really find a whole bunch. But I mean, if somebody can just point me in the right direction, I'll gladly rent a boat to take over there. Hey, thank you very much for the super stick eye, Mr. Fox Sierra Zulu. Oh.
If anybody's looking for some wire to hang in the tree, go look them up.
Yep. And if you don't believe it works, I have a review on that antenna showing it works. And activations as well. So it's a great antenna. You know, here's a question about that too. Does anybody have a in-fed half wave permanently installed for their home antenna?
I'm sure a lot of people do.
I'm sure a lot of people do, but I want to hear the results on this because they work great in the field.
I'm actually the one I threw up in the backyard, one of Chris's. I might leave it back there and use it as my second antenna. But the only problem is I got to watch it because if I accidentally smoke 1,500 watts through it, I'm going to be having to send. He's going to have to send me another toroid. I'm sure that toroid that's in there is probably good for 200, 250-ish because I was looking at it, you know.
Chris, go ahead and send Dan a bill for 5 toroids and go ahead and ship them now.
Yeah.
Because the second he don't get a station that he wants,
that's true.
There it's gonna go.
That's very true. That's very true. No, I was looking at the toroid in the box of the boxes he made, and I'll say it's good. I would say it could handle 250, and I know he markets some, you know, for 100. But I'm not saying run more than 100 through your stuff because that's not. But you know, I think it can handle 250.
So you Chris keeps an in-fed half wave up at his house at all times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I've just heard different people say, "Oh, you wouldn't want to do an in-fed half wave at your house full time." Blah 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 blah. And
let's see. A lot of people do. Let's see. KY for GM does. Ronnie keeps an 8310. Eddie does. Terry has the quarter wave 160. Mike does. Halfway of 160. Welcome to the chat there, PP. Better late than never.
Did you say Pinhole was in the chat now?
Yes. Yeah, Pinhole's in the chat.
Hey, welcome, Pinhole. Yeah, we're talking to you, PP man. You're also known as Pinhole now.
That's a good antenna. All right, so Ronnie has the NFED half wave and the DX Commander. I got the inverted V dipole and a DX Commander.
Yeah,
I love that DX Commander.
I have an inverted V at the house, and I have a dipole at the house.
Now, is your inverted V? Is it an NFED or is it a dipole?
No, it's a dipole.
Okay, yeah. No. He says Pinhole. What? So you're just going to have to watch the team replay.
You're just going to watch the team replay of why you're actually the master pinhole operator. And believe it or not, I'm not cutting on you. Well, actually, I am, but you will think it's not a cut.
Oh, so all right. So this is interesting. You say your NFED half wave is better than your ZS6. I'm gonna really have to try it. Well, I can't really give it a true comparison because on my ZF6 I pumped 1500 through it. That's gonna be weird. Cause that's my primary dipole is my ZS6. I love that one. Absolutely love it. It's up about 85 feet at the apex of the V. I was forced to put it 10 feet higher after the hurricane came through because the limit was on broke.
Yeah, if I could ever get rid of the noise void here, I would add like a bunch of antennas. Just so I could hunt more soda. And I would definitely throw an NFED up, but
I'm just gonna put up a tower with like a big ass Mosley. Hit you with 1500 at 8 dBi gain.
Yeah, and that could be your Sea-Doo this quarter, Dan. Just
there you go.
Go ahead, Go ahead and ship it now.
Yeah.
I actually because Terry, you really don't want to make sure Terry passes you. Just go ahead and send me 1500 watt amp too.
Yeah, there you go. What are you going to use it for? POTA activation? Because you ain't going to damn hunt with it.
No, yeah, I'm going to hunt soda.
One soda.
They're going to be up there on the sodas with with radio as big as, and they're going to have little tiny earphones in their ear, and all of a sudden the earphones are just going to smoke.
Yep. That is crazy.
Yeah, you don't never know. Next year, I might decide that my goal is to be the top POTA FT8 hunter.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Let me know how that goes. Yeah. It's too bad April 1st isn't on like January 1st because that would make a really good April Fool's joke for the new year, wouldn't
it? Yeah, I could be the top FT8 hunter. PP man could loan me his dress and everything.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. He just said he built a 1500 watt 4310. I'm your Huckleberry.
Mm-hmm.
Make that 8310 and ship it. Send me an invoice. I'll pay you. I love it.
1500 watt.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Be smoking an NFED. X-ray November Sierra.
And the box on it only weighs 7 pounds.
It's like this big. Damn, the damn toll road looks like a 33-inch tire.
I was going to say the UPS truck rolls up and he sets a box on your porch and you say thank you. Oh no, I'll be right back. And here he comes rolling a tire with wire around it.
Like a set of super swampers for your toll road.
Like, what kind of mud tire is this that has wire on it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go. Chris wants to get on your beta list too. Yeah, I'd love to have an NFED that can handle legal limit. That'd be so much fun. Oh my goodness.
You boys and all your wattage. I
Well,
guess
I got to do something so you'll hear me at 2:30 in the afternoon when you decide to go on 40 meters.
Yeah, I hear people good. It's just they got to hear me.
Yeah.
My receive on my antenna. Well, it depends on what antenna I'm using, but most of the time my receive it like Terry will hunt me a lot of times, and I'll be like, "You're 5'9", Terry," and he's like, 3'3".
What was it the other day? PP Man was boasting that he got Alaska or somewhere like that on QRP. And I said, no, it's the other way around. You're running QRP. The other station got you. Like they're doing the heavy lifting here.
I mean, I've recently got Alaska and France on QRP, PP Man. CW, but
yeah, I love CW QRP. I rarely, when I'm hunting CW, I rarely turn my amp on.
We when Dan says QRP, he means 200 watts.
No. It surprised me today. No, what the day? It was Friday, Thursday, Friday. I don't remember. But I have my drive power set. My drive power is what? Right now it's 20 watts. So, and I have my drive power set, and I forgot to hit operate on the amp, and I called somebody. It was a POTA station in Washington State on 20 meters. And I called him, and he came back and goes, Dan, you're 5'7". I'm like, okay, thanks.
20 watts, 5'7". Hey.
It's the antenna, man, I'm telling you. Before you invest, I know we're getting on top of the hour, just short on time, but just real quick. Before you invest as a new ham, if anybody in here is new and setting their stuff up, before you invest in an amp or anything like that, get a good antenna. Start from your antenna, then build your shack back down to your radio. That's my suggestion.
Absolutely. And if you ask somebody what a good antenna is, you'll get 10 different answers from 10 different people. But
that's right.
You're going to have to figure out which one is right for you. Just like I'll tell you right now, if you are a QRP activator, you don't want the antenna that I say is the best antenna.
No, you'll want to run resonant if you're going to run QRP.
You'll want to run a resonant antenna.
Probably with elevated radials too. just saying.
No, I'm gonna say a wire, but that's my opinion on that. Pretty much, if I'm running QRP, I got a wire up in the air.
Oh, yeah.
So, but anyway, I don't know if Frank or Charlie is next, but one of them is streaming at 7:00, and Jason has a Ask Me Anything stream at 8:00.
That could get dangerous.
Yeah, that could definitely get dangerous. So that's what's coming up tonight. But for me, I will be leaving as soon as I'm done and going and doing POTA. Surprise, surprise. Early, late shift. I'm only going to be out till about 7:30 or 8:30, 8:40 though. So it probably won't be three bands and AM and 3 bands of CW and all that other stuff.
Slacker, POTA harder.
Tomorrow's Monday morning, and I can make up the numbers from this weekend that I didn't get because I just didn't feel like playing with all the lids very much, and in the rain. It's one thing to fight with the lids, but when you're fighting with the lids and the pouring rain, and I'll settle for an activation and be done. All right, guys, thank you very much for the super chats and hanging out with us tonight. And Wednesday night, we got a great stream. We got a father and son POTA team. I'm not even going to say who, but it's pretty cool. I've been trying to do a lot of family POTA stuff on the channel, so make sure and hang out Wednesday with us for that. And then Thursday we'll drop a video, and of course everyday POTA. Thank you guys for your support, and don't forget, if you want to be a YouTube channel member, get in one of those top 2 tiers and get the POTA self-POTA spotter on the Discord, and of course you get it on any tier with the Patreons as well. 73 guys.
73.